Okay, welcome back. Good morning. It's about 5:20 a.m. here, Friday, the 31st of July, 2020, and China has 1 trillion reasons to pray Trump is defeated. I mean, obviously, Trump has been waging an economic war against them that is hurting them so badly. And if you want to know what I think the C-19 was all their idea, and maybe colluding with other bad actors and spread around the world intentionally to try to hurt this man's chances of winning re-election. Because if the other guy wins, China's going to go back to screwing us over the way they had been for decades. So they've got a lot of reasons not to have him win his re-election. But let's read. Color China Xi Jinping's ambivalent about Donald Trump's re-election prospects. On the one hand, President Xi's Communist Party knows full well how useful 4 more years of Trumpian chaos could be for its international ambitions. The more allies the U.S. president loses, the more global institutions he kneecaps, from the WHO to the IMH. The more investors he irks, the greater the scope for Beijing to fill the void. On the other hand, China has a 1 trillion plus reasons to pray for a Joe Biden presidency. That's how many US dollars Xi's government is stuck with as Trump takes a wrecking ball to the reserve currency, making that roughly 3.5 trillion when you add in Asia's top holders of US Treasury securities. Right? So China's got $1 trillion of ours in debt? Is that what it is? This exposure matters more than ever as the dollar has hit its worst month in a decade, a trajectory that bears Trump's fingerprints. The forces behind the dollar's more than 3% drop this year include the ultra-low Federal Reserve policies, a national debt plowing past 25 trillion, and waning confidence in Trump's competence as a financial reward. How about the fact that we just printed a shit ton of it too? That's not even mentioned here. Like, no crap. Anyone who thought the dollar would remain the US or the world's reserve currency was kidding themselves. Guys, empires eventually end. They all end. And if we're just going to keep printing our money willy-nilly like this, you can expect that the world is no longer going to use it. It's going to become weaker. And we're talking about another stimulus package right now. All the money in your hand that's cash is going to be worth less. This latter problem has a growing number of dimensions. One is his disastrous COVID-19 response, including pressuring U.S. states to reopen before flattening the infection curve. The other is Trump's many threats to weaken the dollar for trade advantage. Fears he might do just that at any moment to juice exports have currency traders on perpetual edge. Yeah, disastrous COVID-19 response. Whatever. Trump's team has, on more than one occasion, hinted at defaulting on treasuries. On the campaign trail in 2016, Trump told CNBC, "I would borrow, knowing that if the economy crashed, you could make a deal. And if the economy was good, it was good. So therefore, you can't lose." More recently, Trump officials mulled whether to cancel parts of U.S. debt obligations to China. It sure makes you wonder why Xi's government would add to its already epic exposure to Trump's whims. I mean, why are we not canceling debt obligations to China? They released a plague upon the world that has cost hundreds of thousands of lives and trillions of dollars in economic gains and growth all over the world, particularly the United States. We should be sending them a cancellation right now. I don't owe you, basically. Seriously. Why is that not even being discussed by Cuck Forbes here? They literally released a virus, they contained it within their country, within their cities, but they let any of the people of their country travel internationally. If you wanted to go from Wuhan to Beijing, you could not do so. But if you wanted to go from Wuhan to San Francisco, no problem. If you wanted to go from Wuhan to Italy, no problem. China released this plague knowing what it was. They need to be held accountable. Why doesn't this article talk about this? Because Forbes is cucked trash. But let's keep reading. Asian American bankers are essentially trapped. America's Asian bankers are essentially trapped. When pundits explore Asia's outside dollars holding, it's often couched in terms of leverage. how Washington had better behave, or China, Japan, and others might dump U.S. debt to teach America a lesson. Yet doing so could crash the global economy. The mere whiff of Beijing, Tokyo, Taiwan, or other major benefactors selling large blocks of U.S. treasuries would tank markets, sending debt yields soaring virtually everywhere, not to mention the paper losses Ministry of Finance's officials would have to explain to national leaders. And so China and its peers tend to hold dollar purchases stable to keep the peace in financial circles. That's interesting. Yet the U.S. coming election cycle is its own clear and present danger to exchange rates. Trump's polls numbers are cratering, raising the odds of headline-grabbing stunts ahead of November 3. He's sure to hit China at every opportunity to cheer his base. I mean, the polls were so right last time. Who would trust the polls anymore? Seriously. Already, Trump launched a giant trade war, starting with levies on 500 billion plus Chinese goods. He's waging a tech war from Huawei to any number of other mainland champions. The wildly popular social media app TikTok could be next. Good riddance. There is talk of banning tens of millions of Communist Party's members from entry into the U.S. Good riddance. The lever Trump may pull next is a weaker dollar. That could wreak havoc with capital markets everywhere, along with gold. Running into dollars remains the panic trade of choice. Hobble the cornerstone asset of global finance for political gain, and there's no telling what fury might ensue in markets. The resulting risk-off pivot could devastate stock market values. A surge in debt yields as risk premium perceptions change could set off a domino effect that savages bank balance sheets. Trump effectively is playing a giant game of Jenga. The blocks he's removed to so far shook the global economy. Might the next one topple the entire game? Not that Trump would care as long as he's reelected. Yes, as long as he's reelected. Trump has as compliant a Fed chairman in Jerome Powell as any American leader ever has. Powell's largesse makes it possible for investors to look the other way. As author William D. Cohen writes in Vanity Fair, with the Fed rescuing the capital markets, people who make money from money, hedge fund managers, private equity moguls, investment bankers, are riding high. America's Asian bankers probably won't be so lucky. The magic trick that Trump via Powell is trying to pull off won't bamboozle currency short sellers. They appear to be getting restless at this very moment. The risk is that Trump leans into the dollar's emerging weakness, accelerating a move that gets out of control. Goldman Sachs warns that the dollar is already on the edge of also ran status given the fiscal and monetary overreach. Goldman harbors debasement fears. It's a terrifying prospect, a president willing to burn the dollar in the long run in service of his re-election. Asia has reason to worry about how the fallout might affect a global system it relies on for growth. Make that 1 trillion plus reasons. Okay. Still, I'm voting for Trump. Next up, why one VC expects Ethereum to continue gaining value against Bitcoin in the coming years. Ethereum has gained some notable ground against Bitcoin since the start of the year, which is reflected in the cryptocurrency's BTC trading pair values. A good portion of its gains against Bitcoin have come about throughout the past couple of weeks, as Ethereum has been caught within a strong uptrend that may have been the impetus for the latest market-wide rally. One crypto-focused venture capitalist is now noting that his historical market cycles seen between Ethereum and Bitcoin are likely to continue directing significant amounts of capital towards ETH, possibly allowing it to outperform BTC over a macro time frame. Ethereum continues gaining value against Bitcoin. Since the start of 2020, Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin by over 60%, climbing from 0.018 BTC in early January to its current price of 0.029. This has been driven by a confluence of factors, including the DeFi sector's growth, yield farming, ETH 2.0 anticipation, and some hype surrounding EIP 1559. I have never heard of that before, but yes, ETH 2.0 anticipation is driving everyone nuts, and Cardano made good on their claims to have upgraded, and Cardano is a fully proof of stake coin now, and you can go ahead and stake your coins on certain wallets. All of these factors have given rise to a plethora of narratives regarding the macro strength of the second largest cryptocurrency, and there is some merit to them. Although musings about ETH's 2.0 launch and the potential passing of EIP 1559 both remain speculative, there is no questioning that the DeFi sector has driven value to Ethereum. This can be seen while looking towards the transaction volume, fees, and network participation on the Ethereum blockchain. It has also led to direct inflows of capital into ETH, as many users transact between DeFi tokens using Ethereum on platforms like Uniswap and Curve. Okay, interesting. So like I have to tell you guys, I am not up on the DeFi stuff. That seems to be the word of the year when it comes to crypto. What is the DeFi stuff? I'm gonna have to look into that and do another video on that maybe tomorrow. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Anyway, hope you guys like Ethereum. I think it's a good coin. I would definitely buy some personally. And let's see. Real quick here, Bitcoin looks set to register its best July price performance for 8 years and confirm a major bullish breakout in the process. That's what everyone's been talking about lately, right? We've been holding up pretty good over 11,000 or right near 11,000 the last couple days. It's looking like we're getting some resistance levels at this price, which is a good sign. And a lot of people are saying this is like July 2017 all over again. Bitcoin is trading near 11,190 at press time. Let's go ahead and take a look. I think that's actually accurate. Yeah, it's a little higher than that. And the cryptocurrency now needs to hold above 11,145 till Friday's close in UTC time to confirm the biggest July gain at 22%. I think we're getting there, folks. If Bitcoin closes below 1150, the resulting monthly gain would be less than the 21 rise seen in July 2018. Okay. Yep. Yep. July's double-digit monthly gain marks an end of a 2-month-long price consolidation in the ranges of 9,000 and 10,000. The cryptocurrency sprang into action amid the U.S. dollar's broad-based sell-off on the foreign exchange market, and gold's rallied to record highs above 1950 an ounce. I would definitely, folks, let me be very clear. I personally, I'm not a financial advisor, but I would buy some gold and silver if you have the means. Silver is incredibly affordable. I think it's around $23, $24 for an ounce. If you're in the United States, American Silver Eagles are the easiest way to get silver. Also American Gold Eagles, though Gold Eagles are only about 92% pure gold. Don't know if that means anything, to be honest, but Gold Eagles, Silver Eagles, you can easily buy a stack of Silver Eagles. I highly would recommend it. There is something coming, folks. I can just feel it. A lot of people can feel it. The dollar's not doing well. The dollar keeps getting printed off. I don't like it, and you need to be hedging your bets here. Highly recommend getting into some precious metals. Don't go all in if you don't want to, but I would definitely buy some and add it to your portfolio if you don't have any. Yeah. And with that, I have been trying to find news on Judy Shelton, and I don't think we have any new news. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think we have any new news yet, other than, the usual Rhino candidates: Romney, Murkowski, Collins. The only 3 people in the Senate who don't support the president are essentially going to vote no on her, but she's what we need. She's what the Fed needs. And maybe she could get the Fed back on the gold standard. That's what we absolutely need. Otherwise, we're just going to keep printing this money. And it's not sustainable. It's going to crash and burn. Anyway, that's going to do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll talk soon. Take care.